Hey, no, Bravado, massive.
Hi.
How you doing, Nix? How you doing,
Evening,
love?
Evening. You all right, babes?
You all right, love?
Yeah.
You were missed. I ain't seen you for ages.
Oh, I've been about. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalie is probably going to be joining us later. She's had a family emergency.
Okay.
So just wishing her well, sending her love and light. Hope to see her later. But today we have got the Gruesome Twosome joining us today.
Yes.
It's just, you know, I mean, I'm excited about this conversation because we all know Donna. Donna's been on this platform a few times, and she always brings the truth. She always brings the jokes and real good hard facts. And for people who know me, know that I like intelligent conversation. And with Donna, you get intelligent conversation based with fact as well as jokes.
Pure
and
joke.
Through, right, Donna will have you in fits. She's hilarious. Through Donna, I've met Dionne, and Dionne's been assisting me with something I haven't really spoken about publicly, but she's assisted me with something that's happening with work sort of issue that I've got. And during that process, she has been supportive. She has made me laugh, like, whereas I've been a little bit like kind of fed up with certain things. I will talk with her or I will meet with her and we will spend the whole time like just laughing. She really perks up my spirit. So it's been a pleasure to meet her as well and to get to know, like I was saying to my mum, you see people like raving about and you see and say hi, but you don't really know what these, like, you know, what women are doing. Like we had Eve on last week, well, last show, and some of the great things that she's accomplished. You're rubbing shoulders with some real elite, powerful, you know, women, and you would never really have any idea. So it's been a pleasure to go on this journey with them and to meet and talk and all these things. So just a couple of things to run through before I bring them on. Just to remind you, we've got the Black Excellence Pop-Up Fest. That is taking place on the 7th of October at the Thamesmead Community Library, and it's the Community Library building. It's going to be from 12 to 5. It's a family event, and it's our first ever Black Excellence Pop-Up Fest. And what we're doing is, like, I started putting on cupcakes and cocktails, and people started writing to me and saying, well, can we exhibit at your event? But where I would have them, it's not necessarily conducive to that. And Natalie started What Next? And we've got a real kind of passion for Black economics and for a betterment of our community. So we're starting this pop-up fest and we are exhibiting Black-owned businesses. Tickets are absolutely free. You can bring the kiddies. We've got a kiddie corner. We've got like loads of great things planned. Goody's going to be playing the music. Quincy's going to be hosting. We're going to be giving an award to the best kind of dressed stand. And it's going to be a real day of empowerment and like Black kind of excellence, as it says in the title. So I really want you guys to come out and support. We've got 4 of these events to roll out under this funding that we've won, and it gives us an opportunity to really showcase Black businesses in a spectacular light. So we need your help. Let's please come out, share, share the event, register, and let's really support these other businesses that we're going to be showcasing. We're excited about it. Next one will probably be
well done.
Yeah, it's been good. Exhibitors stand sold out instantaneously, which lets you know that there's a need for this type of event. And we heavily redacted reduced the price because we wanted people to be able to breathe and make some money because we got funded. We was able to do that. So look out for the one in Christmas. It will probably sell out quick too. But let's support these Black-owned businesses. Next, thank you, sweetheart. Next achievement is I have a new stockist. So we're still based in Fonthill Road, still based at 113 to 115, the Designer Collective on Frontal Road, but we have a new stockist based in Brixton Village. Now, there's a whole history with me behind Brixton Village. I was there like 20 years ago. I had my own little shop, but then ended up leaving because my brother died and just wasn't in the frame of mind to continue it. But there is a lady called the Mashanti Group. She's a dressmaker, so she makes African fashion and tutus, as you can see. I'm not really a tutu girl, but this tutu here is fire. So what I've been doing is going and like pairing my jewelry with her items, and so far so good. This is like a match made in heaven. So
yeah,
check us out. Unit number 82, 5th Avenue in Brixton Village. So let's bring on our gruesome twosome. Oh dear. Back to the stage. Hello, ladies. Let me remove this for a minute. Unmute yourselves.
Hiya! Evening.
Did you share this to your page, ladies?
Oh.
oh.
I was just so excited to be on there again.
Oh, in unison, boy. I love it. Yeah, everybody that's watching, I beg you a share. And yeah, we're going to get into it. I'm looking forward to you lot's commentary tonight. I'm not going to lie.
Dionne, you're coming to Abu Dhabi, yeah? Okay.
They're still muted. You're still muted.
They're still muted, but I got that.
Yes, I am.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
I've been avoiding watching Goodie's videos of what to expect so I can really act surprised. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And he just wants this the intent behind this trip is so pure. He just wants everyone to have value for their money and to have a really good time.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Because of how he's crafted this, that's why it's magical every year. So, do you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to it.
He goes all out, man. He goes all out.
All right.
We ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, lovelies. How you doing? DMT?
I'm good, you know. I'm good.
Yeah. Good. Long time.
I know.
In a while.
Yeah, man. I thought I pissed the bed. That's why you never had me back. But
don't start, Donna, please.
How many minutes in? Already. Oi!
I can't. Nah, man, you're always welcome on this platform. And now you've got your twin here. And I was explaining to them just how much you've made me laugh throughout this journey that we've been on together, Dionne. Like, it's been amazing. And I love when Black women come together, and it is to support each other, and it is to, it is to uplift each other and come make we do this. I love it. So I feel like it's rare, and I'm always very appreciative when I meet said Black woman. So always welcome, if you piss the bed or not, D. All right. So first topic I wanna I think it's a continued conversation. So I put up a video. Me and Gary was talking about this. Hair Shop Strangulation that occurred. And he really laid out some gems about service and convenience, and you know what I mean, just different things as to what we need to do to better. And one of the things he was saying is that wholesalers, like if Black people came together and they bought in bulk together, so all the hair shops come together, then you would have more of a bargaining power to get a discount. So then that way your things are not more expensive than everybody else's. So we spoke about different things, but someone was offended by it, child, so they took it down. what can we say? But I'm not gonna not talk about this, and I'm gonna continue to talk about some of the things that we experience as Black women. I really want to get your opinion on it, and I was surprised to see that not everybody kind of felt that the Asian man was wrong, but I don't want to shoot nobody's opinion down. So I really want to hear everyone's genuine opinions on this. So, Donna, why it looks so? So,
me well want to fire off this thing here, but me I wait, me I hold it down. I want to hear what Nikki's gonna say. I want to hear what Dee's gonna say and what you got to say. But I mean, just look at the action, eh? Me say if me hold one of them yourself. Yeah.
No, he was wrong. He was wrong. He was wrong. The woman, he probably, you could hear her like, you know, no, he was wrong. He was wrong. Downright wrong. Whatever, regardless of whatever she was doing, if she was teething, if she was whatever, if she was doing all of that, there is no reason for you to put your hand around her neck like that.
right.
No.
Yeah, it was his intent. He was really, you could see in his face, like, catch her, I'm going to strangle her. Like, it's something pent up anger, pent up, like he wanted to do it for a long time. And he's got the opportunity now, and he's going to make an example. So for me, and no one could touch their women like that.
Exactly.
That would never, you know, like, go into their shops. Sometimes you see how these other women go in their shops and they uncle this and uncle that. When you go in and they're talking about yes, data and wagwan, don't speak to me like that.
Yeah.
If I'm going to buy your product, I'm going to buy your product. You don't have to talk to me like that.
Yeah.
Because no one could talk to your missus like that. So just tell me where the 14 inch is so I can buy it and leave your. But some of us go in there on this beggy thing looking for disrespect. So we create the disrespect that they feel like we are beneath and they can deal with us any which way.
Yeah.
No, because I'm just making VJ know. You see all them things you're moving with Shiva, you can't come and put your hand on no Black woman like that. Because for a start, you're not even men in your long dresses. Sit down. It was a disgrace. It was a disgrace. I got a lot of things to say on this, Trisha, because I got some fight for some. It was a disgrace. Whether or not she was adhering to the returns policy is an aside to the physical exchange. And as Dionne so rightly says, you know, if that was a Black male shop and an Asian woman even shop in a Black shop. So maybe we should even use it as an example, because they only shop with them for them people. So, you know, if that was the case and it was a Black man, they would have chopped up till they find they would have keep on chopping, right? I agree. I think for me, and I will be going live tomorrow, because I do want to go live before your show, because respect to you lot on your platform. But I got a few things to say. This is what you get when you lay down and mess with Bakra Pickney. This is what you get. You get this level of disrespect now where they feel, till they got their little one in number 10, they feel that they can put their hand on Black people. Let's bring back the 70s when they used to run and go and hide in Jamaican and Caribbean clubs for their safety, because they never have no one to back their thing. This is what you get. We have given them coverage. We have allowed them to be parasites in our communities. We only buy hair from them. We only buy meat from them. And this is what you get. My grandmother used to say, when you give away your butter, you shit through your ribs. And now the Black community is shitting through our ribs, because they allow these coolie people and their nastiness. Now they're putting their hand on us. Is it really? Dumping out to frighten. Dumping out to frighten. And all them people, now you got me started now, Trisha. All them people that went now, they blasted 2 o'clock in the afternoon outside a shop that was shut. Should have spent their time not going down there in the first place, right? Why not put a video out and tell the whole Black community to boycott their shops for 1 week, 2 weeks? We can do it. We did it with Tropical Sun. In the 80s, we did it with Del Monte. We are quite capable of deleting or going circumventing a brand if it doesn't suit our needs. Yeah. And for all the people who sat there, in their Ren kitchens and their twin set and pearls and said that she deserved it and they're black. I hope something like that happens to your child, because it will. Yeah, happens to your child or to yourself. For some things, I'm not. You don't know. I don't defend every little thing that we do. I'm not one of those all-purpose activists. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Yeah, I will call it out differently. Yeah. Right? But for all the people, I saw them online as well, Trisha. I saw them with the well, she deserved it. Oh, well, look how she conducted herself. You see, the piglet asking Mama, why you snowed so long? And so say, I'm a child, you come. Those same people that had said those things about that black woman, it can happen to you, because this thing doesn't have a bridge. Don't think because you got 2 houses now and you go on holiday to Dubai that this racism, this attack won't happen to you. So we need to just, the conditioning, I think, for some of us, we've gone too far, because we feel now we've got 1, 2 bachelors and our mum had a master's. Somehow this thing doesn't affect us. This is a working class thing. No. And so we need to put aside this little colonizer mindset and actually accept that what we need to do is completely circumvent that whole community where we can and do things for ourselves. I don't think if this incident wasn't a kick up the backside for the black community, then I don't know what is, honest to God.
Yeah.
You said it all, Don.
Echoing. Okay.
You echo it.
Yeah, no, it's coming through. I'm going to try and ignore it as best as I can. Go on, Nikki. You was going to say something, because it doesn't seem like you're echoing. It just seems like it's me. So you say something and then I'll talk.
No. I was saying that's exactly it. What Donna is saying is completely right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we can't.
Yeah.
No black man could go in the Indian man's shop and act like that and behave like that with one of the women. It wouldn't work. It's just rank. They're rank.
Ranking out of order.
No, it's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Donna said it for us all. My response, like, it was my initial thoughts were, because my brain, I'm hoping that you guys will get an insight into the type of character I am and how my brain works, and I'll try and explain it. Because Donna, you're one day before me, and sometimes our brain will go. One topic will go into the next. So my whole thought process around this was, during slavery, they lynched us. It was always a choke up thing. And then it moved to George Floyd, the modern day lynching that we saw the other day. And I'm thinking, what the hell is it about them choking God's breath out of you? What is that? Because it just seems to be what they literally just come for our necks, metaphorically as well as physically. Do you understand what I'm saying? So my brain went there. Like, what kind of generational curse is it that they immediately go for your neck to choke the shit out of you? Then I went online and I saw Peckham Palms had done this video. So I put in the comments that, in a make sense to all of this, boycott their shop, and not for 3 weeks. Not for 3 weeks. There's enough black hair care shops out there. Natalie's got Niall online. They just won an award the other day for excellence. So there's excellent black services out there that we can boycott permanently, not 3 weeks. They have got their economics that, I guess, that shop could shut down, but they could just get a lease from their people them down the road and open up again, fresh start. And we're still building an economy and giving people money to eat big food, to have strength, to choke us the fuck out. So I say permanent boycott. I've made a vow, and I'm saying this today on No Bravado. I am never stepping foot back in an Asian hair shop again. I'm telling you that today. Since it's happened, I've not done it. Now, we could take that stance, but like you said earlier, Donna, the majority of the butchers around here are Asian. And there's other provisions and other things that they sell to our community. But I don't know. I don't eat red meat anyway. Just I eat chicken and fish, but the fishmongers around here are Asian. So it's, where am I going to find? Am I going to travel to South London to buy fish from a black fishmonger? Probably not. But where I can make changes, I definitely will. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the hair shop, it starts with the hair shop. Wherever I can spend black, I will be doing that. I'm not going to make excuses for it. I don't understand why people get offended when we say that our money, we are one of the most powerful consumers out there. So the money that we have, that we are giving to other communities, so that when they're ready to gentrify us out of our businesses, they can, because we've got no ownership. When they're ready, like, I could go on and on forever on this. But it starts with, and that's why we're doing this event. It's a Black Excellent events to start showcasing and spending our money. If they're saying that with the Jewish community, the pound, £1 circulates 100 times or more within the Jewish community before it even thinks of leaving their community, I don't understand why it's so difficult for us. And as Donna said earlier, if them literally choking you is not gonna make you wake up, then it's true. It's a £1 billion industry. It's time for some of them billions to be spent within our own community. Nah, man, you're not buying no yam, or you know what I mean, whatever they eat, rice, whatever, to get strength to choke me. I'm not doing it.
I think it's. I agree with you, Trisha. I think it's you know, because black people, we're not a monolith, so it's what you can do where you can. So for yourself, maybe you're not going to drive all the way to. Is that us making that noise?
Yeah, there's some kind of echo.
I don't know what it is.
I'll mute myself for a minute and see what happens.
Yeah, you know, I understand that you're not going to drive all the way to South London. That's a bit of an ask. But I would just ask the community where you can. Definitely. So from this happened, me and my daughter, we've been on Amazon. I've been to our nearest black hair shop is Sydenham. I've made the effort after doing school run to go straight there. Someone of the first customers, and I've asked the young lady twice now, are they seeing an increase in footfall from more black customers? And she said yes, and indeed online orders as well. So I think that the message is out there. And it's funny because I was in Superdrug buying deodorant, and I saw an Asian man that I've known my whole life. His family, my mum, when she used to do catering back in the 80s, would buy meat from his dad and his uncles. And so he knew me and he greeted me and he's like, "What are you doing up here?" And I said, "Oh, I've come to the black hair shop." And he was like, "Oh, you're boycotting all of the uncles and aunts in Thornton Heath?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "It's the only way, you know, basically you people are going to learn, you know, that it's through economics. It's what you understand." And he was like, "I hear you." He's like, "I hear you. It was out of order what happened. And if that's what needs to happen, then that's what needs to happen." So, I mean, he's way younger. And I'm sure there are people who will hear what we've said. But this has been coming a long time. This has been coming since they turned up in the 1850s under indentured servitude. This has been a long time coming. For the appropriation, for the you know, the pirating off of our culture but never contributing to it, for all of those things, this conversation is a long time coming. And I'm looking forward to a conversation. Actually, I wouldn't mind meeting a few Asian activists to hear what they have to say, to be honest, because I'm serious about this. This has got to be the wake up call for us. Their meat, you know, a lot when you go to a white butcher's, like, let's just talk the thing. When you go to a white butcher's, right? You don't know, we all cook, yeah? Them chicken what them have no spring the water where you spring when you buy coolie people meat. You could season that meat and it could stay in your fridge for 2-3 days, it not gone off. So I'm saying we already know, we've seen the documentaries, they are already in our communities giving us substandard produce. Yeah? Why it makes sense. What other motivation do we now need to go and look for other areas of provision? Even if it is online. There are lots of online, there are Caribbean fruitiers and grocers that will deliver to your door next day delivery. Look for them.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I do now.
100%, Nikki. These businesses are not out there. It's not like the 80s where now you'd have to go clean to Timbuktu These provisions, your yam, your green banana, all these things are online.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if the Black community will do what it normally does, which is make a bit of noise for 2 weeks. I think I said on Mark Rowe's post, we have the attention span of a chocolate teapot set in the sun. Let's see if that is, if I've used a wrong analogy, and actually prove me wrong, and see if we can actually do this, because this has got to be a time for change.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And I agree with the online thing. That's what I do. I searched online and everything, because I've left London, and the only shops where I can, well, I say the only shops where I can get everything, green banana, plantain, everything, all of that stuff, is the Indian man. But then we started looking, and I found a little African shop. It hasn't got as much. But I said to her, I said, listen, auntie, I want this, 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 and this. Try and get it for me. Don't let me have to go to them. I don't want to go to the Indian man. So try and get it for me. You know what I mean? So, you know, she called me back and said, yeah, that she got the seasoning that I wanted. So I was like, thank you. And it's, you know, and because obviously Caribbeans is different to Africans, and she was African, you know what I mean? So she had her little bits and pieces, but I was saying, like, this is what I needed. So yeah, she find it and she get it. So I was like, thank you. I'll come back. You know what I mean? Even online, you can get lots of things online. So yeah, I've been searching around, man. I've been searching. So it's out there. And we've got to make the effort, like you said. We have to just make an effort where you can.
It's so easy, because they naturally set up in our where we live. Naturally set up. They make it so convenient.
Exactly.
It's open till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. And it's Sundays and Christmas Day and all of that. So automatically it's easier to just run up to Mr. Raj and get wherever. But through lockdown, I do have a bit of an online addiction. Mr. Amazon and me are big friend. Are you me? So I'm online anyway. So even clothes, I hardly go out shopping anyway. ASOS, big shout to ASOS. Online thing. And the meat, I've got Murray's Butcher. Come on, in Pen. Clean. No flies in that butcher. Don't smell like the food. The meat is raw, but you go in there and you're like, oh my gosh, I want that. They got first time sawdust. First time sawdust has been in that butcher's. And I'm gonna pay the little extra because it's going in my body, and I've got to look after my body in it. So that's all right. Rather than going, Mr. Raj has got the thing with the flyers.
The blue flies.
Is it right that you can buy 3 whole chickens for £10? Get away from me.
Yeah. And with that said, you know, we are talking about fibroids that are plaguing our women. And there's been a lot of talk about it being linked to the hormones that they put in the chickens and the substandard meats that we eat. I'm actually someone who suffers with that. I had them removed and they've come back, and they're not a joke. They're not a joke. So I'm very much like, my thing was, you're not taking my womb, because as far as I'm concerned, they always, that's the first thing. I'll just whip out the womb when it comes to us Black women. When our womb supports our back, there's so many functions of the womb. So that was my thing. So now I'm going to try and drop out the little springy water chicken for my actual health, and really start to look at what I'm putting in my body, because I don't eat red meat anyway. I eat chicken and fish, but like it doesn't make sense saying I don't eat red meat if I'm eating contaminated chicken. do you understand what I'm saying? So figure it out.
And for me, strategically, Trisha, sorry to cut you, it would be different if we were talking about, I don't know, I'm going to use, for instance, the Irish, okay? So if this was a conversation, we were saying, oh, well, you know, as soon as we have our communities, they set up shop, but equally, where there are Irish communities, there are Black shops. Now, we saw in Lewisham a couple of years ago, I don't know if any of you followed the story, there was a woman who set up a Black hair shop, Black woman in Lewisham. Miss Hill never threatened the woman with rape and all kind of something. She was just having her shop just like them, but the threat to them of having a Black-owned hair shop where they never stopped till they run her out of town. And she gave up her shop for fear of her own personal safety. So this is about disparity in treatment. They are where we are, but I don't see the same welcoming. You know, don't see a black business necessarily in a predominantly Asian area. So for me, that says a lot. For me, that says a lot. In the Jewish community, I've been there. There's black shops. They frequent black shops. So you might go into a Jewish bakery, but you also see the Jewish people them going into a shop, black owned, where they've got the stuff that they want. We're not seeing this reciprocal arrangement between us and the Asian community. And until that changes, remember, this is not a tropical sun. What do they say? Oh, substandard ingredients they put into the seasoning, which is why we no longer buy it. Until they start to see us as human, I want to deal with us on a level. I think we should boycott everything. If I could boycott Royal Mail, I would. But every flipping post office are one of them. So I'm saying people need to think, not just what we put in our bodies, no, that's a conversation we're having, but start to think how you can circumvent any services that they offer, 100%.
Absolutely. I agree. And I don't understand why it's so offensive when we're saying it as a black community. It shouldn't be offensive. It shouldn't be taken as offense because we are light years behind. They, like I said earlier, they have the structure where they come together and they buy properties. So their economics is set up completely different, and we are funding that. And it is time to just stop. They're not making us do it. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. Exactly.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just time to stop. Stop the long talking. And that's what I'm saying. Everyone that is in the country that can come and support these little small black-owned businesses that are at this exhibition, come. If it is to buy a little candle, it's going to make their whole day. Just do it. Let's just stop talking and do. So I want to play this video. I know that we're going to all disagree with it based on what we're saying, but I'm going to play it anyway, and then I can read a couple of the comments before we move on to the next topic. And then we've got to say hello
handle
to our
that way better. Okay, I just want to start off by saying in no way, shape or form should any man be strangling a woman. Like, he should have handled that way better. However, right, this is why I waited a little bit to see the full story. Okay, so you can clearly see she came with 1 or 2 packets. I can't really tell, right? Now here you can see that she tried to leave with about 10 packets. So she basically stopped. I feel like us as the black community, we really need to ask ourselves, is it equality that we want or is it privilege that we want? Because equality looks like a foreigner has come to the country, he's built his business, he just doesn't accept the refunds, and you as another foreigner, you just allow him to run his business how he wants to and figure out something to do with your hair. Privilege, on the other hand, looks like kicking up a fuss, stealing things from the store, slapping the security guard as soon as he tries to stop you from stealing, throwing the cart in his blood clot eye, and then telling everyone to protest for your rights. Which one are we looking for? Is it privilege or is it equality? Like, us as a black community, we really need to start holding our people accountable, because it's getting frustrating how we go out and we do some ridiculous stuff and then we turn around and say, well, you're being racist. No, this is not a race issue. This is definitely a criminal issue, and no one should be going outside talking about Black Lives Matter, no, because what you're really trying to say is that black thieves matter. In no way, shape or form should you now come and be stealing things because they didn't want to give you a refund. Is this what we're protesting for?
Shut up, yeah.
Talking about yourself. Unmute yourself.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first.
Rubbish. Shut up.
I'm gonna mute because it's between me and these lots things, so I'll mute.
That's foolishness. I don't care.
It's a prime example of the ignorance. I think she's upset that she lost the hairline. Maybe that's in the shop. Maybe that accepted no refunds. What are you talking about? It's those comments that just and sorry that look at that comment and say, yeah, she's black. Look what she said.
Yeah.
No, but she don't speak to her Corona about anyway. She definitely does not speak. You're an idiot. So if he'd have strangled her, let's see if she'd have the same talk. When he's crushing her larynx and you can't speak, you're going to say, oh, it's just the law of the land. No, that's what we're supposed to do. So he's an immigrant and you shouldn't treat him like that because it's privilege. I've never heard of shit in all my life.
My God. I mean, she's young. So, I mean, I'm taking from that video, she's lived for apparently 15 minutes. And I can't respect any. Do you see this? Does anybody see this? This is shave. I go to the barbers and they shave. Look, fishy one, shave. I can't respect you if your edges is not there. The edges were leaving the video. What the hell? I mean, if we, all right, well, I won't public. That's, you lot said, I don't know yet. But I'm saying everybody's different. Everybody's experience is different. But what I am asking, and Trisha, Nikki, you know this, the responsibility of a person who has a platform or any kind of form of social media and speak to life the criminality of their own people at a time when we are experiencing significant heights in racial profiling, stereotyping around that whole thing of criminality. As I said in the beginning, whatever the refund policy was, whether Sis was trying to make away with the goods, there are laws in this country that would protect that shop and she would still be criminally prosecuted without big bad hijab putting his hands on her. Right? That's the law. You don't have to actually touch somebody for them to take into account of who you are and for you to be prosecuted. So that's one thing. So Sis with the leaving edges needs to know that. You don't need to be physically stopped. But this mentality, can we just spend a little minute and talk about the conditioning of other black women on other black women?
This is
it. This is my problem, Nikki. We will never all, even us four, and we're close, I'm not always going to agree. That's what life got. But we can agree to disagree with something without having to tear down the two of you. Look at them in their fucking glasses. Who the fuck do they think that? We don't have to. We can agree to disagree. But what she's doing there, and I'm not saying blackness is a monolith, you know, so it's all one thing. But think, little sis, think before you open your mouth. What am I actually saying? If you want to say, and I do agree with her point about accountability, because you know I'm big on that, I do think we have painted ourselves into a corner as a community where we are, you know, this oppression thing, we've ridden this thing hard. Like, this thing ain't got no wheels. Currently we're on the saddle and half of it is gone. We have ridden this thing. It's like honeymoon, you understand? But she's got to be careful how she constructs what she says, because actually what she says may make Asian people think. We've seen some of the reactions online. You see, it's all about their criminality. It's all about their this and their that. And she's got to be careful what she speaks onto other black women, because again, she's only 15 minutes old. What about when she's half an hour old? What about like some of us on there, she's 4.5 hours old. Some of us have got to 12 hours. You understand? When you've lived a life and you have experiences around people, perhaps then you can give such a broad strokes commentary. But babes, you just started, and I know you just started because you went on your live and hadn't done your edges. Only young people do that. Even I put on some little face powder and some lip gloss because I knew I was coming on Tristan's thing. Only the young forget them things. You know what I mean? They're wearing sandals and they've not done their toes. So we know she's young. I think she needs to think more. Yes, she's right about the accountability, but speaking criminality on your own gender and race.
Yeah, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. No, she's an idiot. I'm sorry. Shut your mouth.
Okay, but she wasn't the only one. So moving on. I've done that for a reason. I put her for a reason because she really wasn't the only one. This was a comment in that video. Hang on. Hang on 1 sec, because I just need to get this comment off the screen. Hide. Now I can see it. Right, so Amari Carr said, I will say again, I do not absolve someone of their personal responsibilities on the basis of racial classification, black or other. If you start aggression, prepare for the consequences.
Sorry, I don't get what he's trying to say.
He's just basically...
I will say again, do not absolve someone of their personal responsibility on the basis of racial classification, black or other. If you start aggression, be prepared for the... Okay, but what's... I still don't get
daughter. That's Amari's daughter. She goes in there, she fumbles the refund policy. And in leaving with what she thinks is hers, the man puts his hands. Is the same 6'10" Amari that we all know going to say the same thing? Shut up, boy. Just shut up, man. If you're gonna come talk little sense, but don't say that. You have to think. In this instance, yes, it was that sister. In any instance, in any of these shops, it could be anyone.
Yeah. So Claudia says, so as a shopkeeper that gave him the right to act the way as he did, no need to choke her. I was saying absolutely there wasn't. Samantha Hall said something interesting. He said he should not have put these people he should not have put his hands on the black woman. But these people know that we have no protection. I can promise you he would have never have done this to a traveler. And let's be frank, travelers are kind of known for stealing. They're stereotyped for stealing. That's what you look out for. But it would have never have happened. Amari had said his reaction was instinctive after being slapped with the basket. I noted when trying to restrain her, he appeared to be conscious of not touching her breasts. No, he shouldn't have placed his hands on her neck, but please let us not lose sight of our behavior in someone's establishment, which is the cause of the whole debacle and ramifications.
Them man, they lick women. Them man, they lick women. Look at his language. Look at his dialogue. Them man, they put their hand on women differently. Please, move on. I'm saying it. How can you justify
allegedly and all these things? We don't want to that. We don't want to that.
I work with domestic abusers. Listen to when you can justify the space in which it's okay for this to happen. That's an abuser's mindset. Because the law says she can be prosecuted even if nobody touched them. Enough people try to walk out of shops with things, and end up getting prosecuted for shoplifting. So even if that was the case, the law doesn't say you have to physically restrain. Why was the man restraining her?
In fact, I'm sure I saw a video where he hit her first.
Right, he hit her first.
An angle show. He hit her first, and she retaliated.
But Amari says that she was trying to avoid the breast. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
And if that was my daughter?
Because you'd wish I was a traveler.
Can someone else read these two for me? Read these comments for me. Next, on any one of you.
Right. So Tony Charles says the problem was the actual giving of a refund, which I believe a refund or exchange is a consumer's right. Please let us not lose sight of why this escalated into a woman of petite size, 5 foot, being strangled by a man of a rather large body structure, 6 foot. She requested not a refund, but an exchange of goods, which were unopened. Thus, she only wanted to exchange the goods she had purchased, which had not been permitted by the shop assistant. Thus, I say that to say this. Do not spend your money where you can neither receive a refund and neither an exchange, because you will literally be unalived for doing so. Which highlights another problem we have with when receiving loans to open up businesses, because the loan a black person is given is calculated at a much more higher repayment interest rate, which is a further blockage to us opening a business in the first place, along with the wholesalers raising the prices when we want to purchase a large amount of items. This is an issue which our African Americans are experiencing. Thus, another blockage added to starting a business, along with the converted stereotypical racism, which is perpetrated by books and media, which is then enacted by the general public.
That's the most sensible.
Exactly. That was a sensible response. So... But we know it, and that's the thing. We know it, and we knew it before the man strangled up the woman. So,
Sherry said, the sad thing is some black men are justifying what this Asian man did to this black woman. Let me say this. Had this been a black man do this to an Asian, Jewish, white, or Turkish woman, all of those men would have rode out for her. And don't forget, traveler woman, we as the black women are the least protected woman by our men, and that's so sad. I do not care what she did. Nothing justifies that huge man to strangle her.
That's exactly.
And then notice, so we've got no one to protect us. And the men who do roll out to protect, roll out to a shop that's closed. In the name, because no, they roll out to a shop that's. I mean, if that isn't the height of bad, Nikki, I'm going down to Parliament in the Secretary's holiday because they vex me that nobody's there. I mean, you know, it's like them bad man people that are like, no, I'm gonna do it, but they do it when there's nobody there. I mean, I just sat here and I didn't laugh because it wasn't something to laugh at, but I'm saying, no, we're really gone far. No, we're gone. Going out there 2 o'clock every day at a shop that's closed. You know how that man was still getting paid and laughing and made his wife make more samosas? Do you know how that went? Because it just didn't have any aim or objective. And this is why other communities, other immigrant communities to this country laugh at us. Because we've now painted ourselves into a state. We're a job. We're protesting out of a shop that's closed.
I didn't even look at it like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You're busy with your brown tape putting Black Lives Matter on the people them shutters while their goods is inside. No, just I'm still getting business. So what? Apparently outside reasoning with the man them, all of them 2 Sundays from God's waiting room themselves. Reliving the 80s, like, come on. If we're going to be active in the activism, can we actually make it proactive? Can we actually, you know, write to company's house and share, you know, like, all right, in the end, Sadiq got involved, so on and so forth, and all the rest of it. But it just looked so irrelevant. And I'm going to talk about, you know, selective outrage, because you can roll out for that, but you can't roll out when our youths are killing each other on these streets. Come on.
Yeah.
Rolling out 2 o'clock every day, you know. You found the energy 2 o'clock every day. When our children are killing each other, cricket, selective outrage. I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like they think we're a joke. We're gonna make up noise. Yeah. It kind of, yeah. It's I'll read this last comment. She hit, whether or not she hit the male with the basket. The fact is, his hand went off to her throat from a form of restraint, at the very least concerning. At the most, a male's attention should be questioned. 7% of murders in the UK are carried out via strangulation. I didn't know that. In 2019, a report on violence against women and girls in London Mayor Office found that Black women and girls were disproportionately affected by domestic abuse, sexual abuse, and violence. Black female MPs are 84% more likely to receive abusive tweets than white female MPs. Black women are the least likely to be among the UK's top earning compared to any other racial or gender group. Black British women are more prone to experience issues like anxiety, depression, panic, and obsessive compulsive disorders than their white female Black male counterparts alike. Black women are sexualized in videos, body shapes, body features are exploited by the media. The protest following the incident is about the bigger picture, the mistreatment of the Black woman. Instead of judgment, we should show solidarity and support for Black women to expect to be treated as human beings and not animals, sexual objects, or punching bags.
100%. Yeah, I agree with all of that, sis. And I know that this is not about that, but what I just want to bring into the consciousness is she's right. In fact, we both reached for our phones and looked at the statistics, and the person that made that comment is so right. Her statistics are on point, her facts are on point. But right. This is my pushback. Not to her comment, to part of the conversation. It's like Black Lives Matter, isn't it? Of course, Black Lives Matter, and they should matter in terms of policing. But for me, if Black lives don't matter to Black people first, why the hell am I expecting Emma and Lucy and Tristan to stand up for Black Lives Matter? And I feel the same way about this. Yes, the mistreatment of Black women is disgusting. But unless we can convince, the statistics she's quoted about domestic abuse in the Black community is on the rise. It's one of the things that underpins our knife crime, right? if we don't get a harness on it, if we can't convince black men to keep their hands off of black women for the betterment of their families, then why the hell would we expect an Asian man not to put his hands on black women?
Exactly.
Make it make sense.
That's what I was saying. Exactly. That's 100% right.
Work to do. We have a lot of work to do. We just jumped straight into it, so we didn't even check in with our folks. I can't even see who's watching now, but there's been like lots of comments. Good evening, good evening. My thing is, why are we going to them? I don't know who this is. For them to buy products. My thing is, why are we going to them to buy products? As people and community, we should have shops run and owned by us selling goods we used and need. What the man did was so wrong on so many levels to the black woman. We have to take responsibility for not being more business minded. So the Indians saw a market opening and now reaping the benefits. Yeah, but they're free paper bun now.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I think there's going to be a shift. I do believe that.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
And I think George Floyd was the catalyst that kind of made it all bubble up to the surface. And now you're seeing like it's more racially charged than ever. And I'm feeling like some people in other races are not able to contain how they feel about us. And like Donna just said, they don't have to because they think we're a bunch of fucking Muppets. And I ain't that. So we can choke you up. All you're going to do is go and stand up outside. Because I never looked at it like that, D. I never. So you're going to go and stand up outside.
That's the same thing I was saying.
Meanwhile, my man is
my time to stand up outside.
Elsewhere, to open up elsewhere.
Shutters down. And
You know, he just went
on the shutter.
The whole staff just went to another shop in Brixton for the rest of the time. That's what they did. Nobody's shop was shut. Nobody's... I don't know, like if people don't know, they need to ask somebody. Actually ask people who organize community, what should we do about this? Because I would have said, let's have a meeting, let's plan to boycott. We don't have to go out there and do all of this. Just nobody shows up tomorrow. And we stand outside, strategically placed, and tell black people when we see them, you might not want to go in there. Our sister was attacked. Can I show you the video? That's what you do. You don't go to a shop and put Post-its on there. We're coming for you.
Oh dear.
Nikki, can you see I'm watching and shouting out?
Huh?
Say that again.
I'm saying, see who's watching, because on my screen it just says Facebook user. It doesn't tell me who's saying what. So just shout them out. Let's say hello to our users.
Oh,
some of
Hassani.
Hassani's on there.
Hassani, Trevor.
Angela Mensa. And I hear what Angela's saying. All right, sis, I won't tear her down about her receding edges. I will educate her instead. She's asking me to play nicely.
Hassani said I will play music outside. It's a rave.
Sweeney Ivy's on there. Pick up yourself, sir. Oh, Mr. Headman. Hello, Des. Doesn't send me any messages anymore. Me see you, traitor. You're the pan no bravado. Let me check out the internet again. What you know? Yeah, no, I see him. Oh, Angela. Yeah, Denise. Look at all these traitors. Ben, when I see you next time, right, you have to ban me.
They're here for you, Donna. Don't call them traitors.
Nah. They don't check on me like first time, Trish. They don't check on me like first time. It's really nice. Trevor.
Yes, Dempsey, we see you.
Woo! But Hassani's really putting his comments though, isn't it? Anytime I see that brother, I love the conversation. He's so conversant, articulate, and you know that's like a limited edition black man. You know, somebody please snap up this brother car. If it went in gone, you know. I couldn't play it full already, but somebody needs this. He's such a lovely guy. So conversant, honestly, so intelligent. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he is.
Pick up yourself, brother.
Yeah, he is. All right.
And he can cook.
Let me mute myself because that echo's horrible.
Oh, sorry, God.
All right. Have I unmuted? I think I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next topic is, all right, ladies. So you're having an argument with your significant other, yeah? And it gets, you're having an argument in the house. It gets a little bit loud. The next day, you go out to your car and you find this note on your windscreen. And it says, I overheard your argument with your man. You should treat him better before a woman like me comes along and catches his eye. You better keep him close. A tall, sexy man such as himself, I would let him live in this pussy. What's the next move?
I'd tear it up and dash it in the dustbin. Damn fool, girl. Move yourself. I'd dash it in the bin. Move yourself.
I'm going to mute myself because I want
underneath my
eyes.
Dionne's doing random handwriting samples up and down the road for charity. I'm just clicking for charity. Can you fill this in?
He's dead. Dude. I want to have the conversation again, but this time face to face. Explain what you just said a while ago. Okay. I don't think I heard you at the back.
She's bright and facing
no, she's
out.
Right, and she's got the treatable heart. I'm trying to write this.
This is what long COVID has done to people, People got time. Because I don't know what you would have the time in it with the heart. I've got time. I would let him live in this beep. Nah, man.
Oh, yes, move yourself.
Is that pen or pencil?
Exactly.
I mean, if I saw that writing, I think that if school started at 8:30, they left by 9:45. So, it's not.
Oh.
Yes.
No, that's just rank.
Would you, if you knew who it was, would you say something to them next, or nah? You just leave it?
Would I? Knowing me and my feisty self, there will be a day where I'll say something. One of them ones where you just like, listen. But really,
don't touch my car for a start. Leaving notes on my car.
Idiot thing.
What
kind of stupid?
You're bright and out of order. But bright and rank. But like Donna said, when they both reached for their phone to check the Sabby Joe's facts. They come with facts and they come with things in this group. I think they're hilarious. I love the No Bravado massive. So most people said that she's bright and out of order. But some of the comments I found was interesting. I'll point them out. So someone was asking, is this a pick me? Is this an example of what a pick me is as a woman then? And someone said no words. She said, Samantha said she should beat her. She would beat her to disrespect. Lisa said, I wouldn't know to laugh, cry, or fight. The next note would read, I'm sorry I involved myself. Please come back and take him back. Because we were arguing for a reason, no? So, do you know what I mean? I swear this group brings me so much joke. It's not joke, it's thought-provoking. Yeah, that's what we aim to do. Melinda Gardner said, I want a bomber blood flyer is this. Leave any note on my car or mine stating about my man. What's happening? What's happening? What happened to them?
Where's she going?
Sorry, Cat is trying to bring something in that we don't get to see.
It's so funny watching what happens on the screen.
Mouse. Is it a half-eaten bird or something?
Yeah, probably. Leave a note on my car or mine stating about my man or our disagreements and your front. Sis, believe me, I will break you down verbally, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. How dare these people get involved with people's argument? This flea male is obviously just that because she clearly must like people's man. The woman is rude. She must be thirsty, desperate, or something. Like, she took this really personally. The woman is rude. She must be thirsty, desperate, or something. She clearly has nothing to do with her days other than lay up over a rass man. Come like she don't know what. Real man must have shit to do. Real men also don't want woman that has some substance to her and some sort of independence. No man a look mattress to Ras. It's true though. The woman is looking people's man. She really needs to go and look some Ras decorum. That vexed her.
Linda was
like, it's real.
Whoever wrote that has had a note on their car.
You know, but Jonathan said, you know, the guy is going to get interrogated now. So this is implying that even if it's nothing to do with the man, some random woman's come and said some stupid shit, and then we would still then go to them as the man and be like, so look, so what's going on? Why did she leave the note on my car? Why did she leave the note on my car? But why did she leave the note on my car though?
Why did she say that?
That's something we do.
What have you had a conversation before? What would make her think that she could write something like that and leave it on my car? It's a whole journey.
Oh,
but when he wrote that, I was like, rah, imagine, because I'd be like, so why would she do that? And he's gonna be like, I don't know. And I'm gonna be like, so something must have happened that she thinks that she can tell me that you're gonna live in her pussy. Why is it? And it put me to think, like, the things, the argument that we bring to Manina for no reason, because he never tell her to do that. But when he said that, I was like, raw, I probably would, because you're still getting the argument, and then you come out to go and mind your business so you can go where you're going, and then there's no on my car talking about living your pussy. I'm gonna cuss him again. And it's true. That's not right.
Yeah.
It's not right.
It's good.
It's true.
That's a thirsty and desperate move. Foolish woman, kiss my damn teeth. She's cruising for a bruising. Lenore said, I would write back and say, you're not drinking enough water, honey. Lover's tiff makes the sex even better. He actually loves this pussy. And when we make up later, I will leave the windows open so you can hear that too, bitch.
Yo.
I love her knowing right in the quad.
Where wailing?
Oh, she's very bold, well brazen. Yeah, so that was more or less it for that topic. Next topic. Someone inboxes to me. They asked to be kept anonymous, and they basically gave a brief summary about someone that they're dating and the fact that they're saying that they want like an old school woman, but they still expect, like, if they go out, they might go halves and stuff like that. So
he doesn't want to be the leader then. He's not going to be the leader.
So she's come to the conclusion that men, like since Kevin Samuels as well, because I had like a little brief conversation with her, and since Kevin Samuels as well, there's been a lot of guys that are saying that they want this high quality woman, but and they want this old school woman that cooks and does all of these things, but they're not providing in the same way. So then she said she saw this meme and it kind of summed up everything that she was thinking, that men are basically looking for people to act like their mums, be their providers, be their full-time nurturers, but be submissive when doing it.
Makes sense.
Does it make sense? That's what she was saying to me. What do you think? Dionne, look confused. Let's start with you.
No, the two things together, I'm just not for it, I suppose then. On a personal level, I'm just not for it. So I'm not going to be submissive. I'm just going to do me. We meet somewhere in the middle. We're going to build. We're going to grow. We're going to tea and time will catch. All of those great things as part of a relationship. But why have I got to be submissive? And I don't get now. It's not for me anyway.
Right. But do you think that men are looking for us to be more like their mums in terms of the way that we look after them in the household?
I'm not sure. Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
I just think like
I'm thinking about my daughter's generation. I don't, and they're not that. It's not they're not submissive. They go getters, if anything else.
Yeah,
but they want to be the mother figure. They don't want that. But so maybe it's a generational thing.
Right. Let me mute myself.
Is it really bad?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Trish. Honestly, I hope it doesn't come out on a recording or nothing. Go on, Nikki.
No, I was thinking like submissive. When you say submissive, it's when you look at that word submissive and what that kind of means to you. If you look at submissive in a way that means that you're going to be some little meeky wallflower and do what my man says when my man says it, how my man says it, then that's not it, is it? That's just not it, because that's not going to be the one. But if you think about being submissive to, and I know I might sound like a wet blanket to some people, like to your husband, for your husband to be able to lead you, for you to submit to him, then I can submit, bro. Like I'm submitting. I don't want to work hard. I don't want things to be hard for me. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying like that you can't have a job. I can submit to my husband and still have a job and still earn my own money in my mind and in my marriage. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what kind of, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't see submissive. I wouldn't look at I don't think of myself as like, yes, I'm a submissive wife. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. But there are times in my relationship, in my marriage, where I've had to submit to my husband and be like, you know what, babe? You're okay then. You're gonna do that? Okay, you're gonna do that, and I'm gonna follow you. Do you know what I'm saying? There's times where I've said, no, we're gonna do this, and this is how it's gonna be. And he's followed me. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's how I think.
There's the middle grounds that you're talking about, Nikki. You're talking about middle grounds. You're not. It's not you being submissive all the way through, all the time. You're saying what's good for you today is cool, and equally, if the tables are turned, I'll follow you. So I don't think you're talking about being submissive all the time.
So for me, the word subjection and being submissive has been misconstrued, and it's not been helped by, in our local experience, Black church, because men have taken the word and the meaning, the context out of the Bible as something to browbeat women, normally their wives, into you must submit to me, you must do everything I say when I want, in the way that I want it, because if you're not being a submissive wife, or you're not being a submissive partner. And actually that's not the context with which it was said, as far as I remember. And also, how can you submit to something that you can't respect? So these men that are talking about and wanting submissive providers, you know, essential to any relationship is respect. Now, a woman, children can't be expected to subject themselves, to seek the best interests for, to stand behind, to support, to submit to someone who couldn't arrange a piss up in a brewery. Who has nothing to be respected for. And I think this is part of the conversation. You want the respect, mate, but what should I respect you for? You know, they talk about this imaginary table, and I don't want to get into that's not what tonight's discussion is about. But actually, what as a man, as the man in this relationship, should I respect you for? What are you showing me? And I think that's, for me, so they want these, submissive providers. Sometimes I don't think people know what they want. And actually what works for Nikki and her husband might not work for me and Andrew, might not work. So everybody's got to work out what their thing is. and what their point of compromise is. And I just, if this is what new men want, I mean, I'm at the game, Nikki. I was going to say, we might as well just leave it to Dionne and Trisha. I've been at the game 13 years now, and I wasn't submissive then, and I'm not going to, they're going to write on my tombstone, she was never submissive. So yeah, who would want to be with a man that would want someone to be his mum? Like, what the hell? Like, I would have think that the only women that would then apply are women that would seek to abuse that position, your vulnerability, because you want me to be your mum. Like, come on, man, you can't. That's not sexy. And I find that now, more, I will say this much, and then I'll shut up. That increasingly, as this journey of life goes ahead, men are becoming more feminine and not having that masculine energy around respect, around, you know, like setting certain demarcations as a man. And as a woman, at the end of the day, trust me, if I'm ever in a rave stood on a table and somebody tells Andrew and he gives me a look, I am getting down off of that table, as bad girl as I am, because I know in it. So I'm just saying, you've got to have something that you want to come off the table for, that you respect that person for. And I don't think being a submissive provider is that. That's my take on it. You know?
Yeah.
It's not sexy, is it, Dean?
No, it isn't.
It's not.
It can be submissive in other ways.
Yeah, but that's date night Wednesday. That's date night Wednesday. That's date night Wednesday.
I'm submissive anyway.
Yeah.
We've got a troll on because this is being streamed on YouTube as well. So just, I think, going back to some of the comments, you ladies, I'm gonna just read it. You ladies need to do as you're told from your man. That was his first comment, but it gets. So I'm not gonna give that note here. Then he says, laughing at us, feel sorry for blacks much. You're no worse off than any white man or woman. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Black men started slavery. White men stopped slavery. So I don't know where he got that from. And they always find themselves in your conversation talking shit. Then he goes on to say, or she goes on to say, the governments are to blame. They want us fighting each other. They created Black Lives Matter. Listen to what Morgan Freeman says. You're brainwashed. Learn your history. Women, stop feeling sorry for yourselves. Jews got gassed. Japanese got napalmed or whatever that is. And they're not crying about it because they're still not suffering the effects of the atrocities that were experienced. There's no genocide in the world that took place like the genocide that we had to go through. Until 400 years later, we are still suffering the effects. So you can't. This is the wrong platform to try and draw me at.
Yeah, all right.
It's the wrong one. I will laugh in your face and spit facts all day. You're an idiot.
Will's 35.
Okay.
Does his universal credit payment come in tomorrow?
Taking a break from Jeremy Kyle.
We've always known that. Did you not know? Trisha, did you know you're unsavable?
We ignore the facts of Creek Pride, girls. You're unsavables.
Yeah.
So one day, me and Nikki were having a fag, and Nikki said, "Don, do you realise we're unsavable?" And I said, "For fuck's sake, we're unsavable." And so maybe Wills was just caught up with it though, because we already knew. We already knew we were unsavable. Yeah.
And this is how I know I'm not normal, and I don't know why music is always a reference to me. But the first thing that comes into my head is "Throw me the blood clot, bad me no smoke, because Lassie I'm my father." That was the first thing that came into my head. Go on, go suck you. Sure, so no more. No more. That's the first thing that comes into my head. I'm not normal. Anyway.
No, because the first thing that came to my head was slew them. So I hear you.
Out of it.
Innit?
I mean, the Jews did get gassed, and they put themselves in a position where it would never happen to them again. They are powerful in their economics. There's a solidarity in their community. They level, and they were given reparations to give them a start. So Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can't compare the two atrocities. We still haven't been given any form of reparation for the years of atrocities that we suffered. So, yeah, sure. There's always going to be a troll somewhere. It means you're doing something right when you get trolls, anyway.
Exactly.
All right. So, comments on this one, the passive. Amari Carr said, this generation means what exactly? What age demographic? If any given scenario, there would always be persons who fit and the persons who don't. I don't think you can give a generic answer without further clarity. However, some may see it differently. Pamela says, because some men are lazy, also they see their mothers providing whilst their fathers have multiple children with different women and don't provide for their families. So it was more down that route that the lady was going for. They see acceptance from their mother. It started in the home environment. They're a product of their environment. What do you think about that comment?
Well, yeah, she's right though, isn't she? You've got some mums that they are them sort of Hoover mums, innit? And they do everything for their children, but still, you're still a grown man.
Yeah, but do you think that conditioning is what they then tend to go forward looking for in terms of a relationship?
But to a certain extent, I'm going to be a bit of a devil's advocate here because
I want you to be.
Their nurturing environment, blah blah, hoovering mum. I'm a hoovering mum. Yeah, I'm a Hoover mum. I do everything for my children, but like Nikki said, I expect my sons at some point to be responsible. But I mean, isn't that the point of a relationship? I think sometimes as women, we have to be careful what we ask for. I saw something today that said, I want to be fragile in my relationship with my man. I want to be, as Nikki said, I want to not have to work and bust a gut. So if that means that part of that reciprocal arrangement is that I am a bit mummy, so I will get out of my bed to dish up his food. If he comes in late, I will, do those extra things that might be a bit of mothering. But if that means in return that I'm all right and I can be myself and I can be fragile, I don't have to be this tough person all the time, then what is wrong? If that's what we're going to call submission then, right? What is wrong with cooking for your man, setting his bath, cutting his toenails? That might be a bit too far for some. But I am saying, if those are the things that make him feel cute and in turn he then makes you feel cute, then why would you not want to do them? In the confines of your relationship, because surely, I mean, all right, there's the other side of this argument, I suppose, D, would be that I'm doing all of these things and he still takes the piss. Obviously, you would want it to be at a stage where, the respect is reciprocal. But why would you not want to, in a relationship, be a little bit submissive, be a little bit cute for your man? I'm just throwing it out there.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. I think the problem, what's in that meme and what she was trying to say is that if you're doing all of that and then you still have to carry the household bills, then that's an issue.
Yeah, then the man is taking the piss, isn't it? That's a piss take.
And that's an issue.
That is a piss take.
Yeah.
Then you are someone's mother, like
basically. And like she's saying that she feels like there's a plethora of men that expect that. Do you know what I mean? But
I think there are, and there's a load of and I say it. My daughter got married recently, and yes, she married a boy from church. Like they met at church. Yeah, she goes to church. They met at church and everything. But they are just, and when I say that, people think, "Oh, she's a Christian." Yeah, she is a Christian, but she doesn't wear white gloves with a hat. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's young. She's very young. She dresses as young women do. She's 29, and that's what they do. But she got married, and he is that. He is a provider. Like, my daughter has a job. She goes to work. She has her money, but he is a provider. And he said to her, you're not paying for nothing. That's what he said. He works, he earns, he has a good enough job. She doesn't, and that's what he said. He said, no, but that's what my dad told me, that when I get married, I need to be able to look after my wife, like look after my house. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what he's doing. Do you know what I mean?
Love that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And then even she was complaining. She was saying, "Oh, but Mum, we won't even let me do this." I said, "Daniel, what are you complaining for? Why are you complaining?" Like I said, that's the best thing that I could hear. Do you know what I'm saying? He's looking after you. That's what he's doing. He's looking after you. You can feel safe. And that's the thing, when you have someone like that, you can feel safe. You know what I mean? You feel safe, and that's it.
Yeah.
He's making her feel safe, and I feel safe to know that that's who she's got. Do you know what I'm saying? So there are
because the struggle life. If we take Nikki, if you don't mind, your daughter as an example, the struggle life. So she get married, then can't afford it. They might live in a one studio flat. Everything is right. Because the pressures of the relationship, no money ain't making, but every time they lay down, there's another baby born. All of these things bring their own pressures. Next minute, it's a different story that we're on no Bravado. We've got to look for Converse and 1-2 wooden posts because we have to go look for him now. So what is it that we want from our relationships? And I think, your daughter, and I would encourage all women to be discerning about what it is you want, because surely these little fuckboys are out there, the ones who want to be mothered, but they've got absolutely nothing to bring to the table. And the reason that they've lived this long, some of them are in their 60s, by the way, the reason that they've lived this long is because women have taken them up and thought, as women do, this is my pet project. I'm going to turn this dresser, I'm going to strip it down, paint it, and put motifs on it. It'll be something else. That's not how it works. And so there are men who want that kind of attention, where we should really be looking for men who want to provide so we can be cute to them and have a cute life. Because the struggle thing for Black women is overrated. Like this strong independence. Like when I saw the girl say it, I was like, no, but for real though. Because some days I just want to be in my bed. I'm not even be in my bed. Be in my bed and chat my bullshit to him and I have to get up and do anything for the kids. And sometimes that happens because I've been cute. He's like, all right, do you know what? You stay there. And he goes off and he does things and everything's all right. That's what I want. I don't want every day to be Ironside DMT. I mean, I like it most days, but sometimes on a Thursday afternoon at 4:45, I don't want to be Ironside DMT. And so I think this conversation has leaded us onto a conversation around what women want. Because if the trade-off to be submissive and cute is that I have an easier life, I'd rather take that than this, nah, I'm not listening to no one, strong, independent, rock down, kick down. Which is great.
Is it the right word, submissive then?
But we are dying of cancer before our white and Asian peers because of this strong independence. I remember reading the American study.
Absolutely.
So it's working out for us.
Yeah. And I think it is what you're saying, Dionne. It is the right word. But like Donna said before, the meaning has been misconstrued over time. Do you know what I mean? So being submissive, like I said, I don't think of being submissive and being some little idiot wallflower that can't speak. No, that's not going to work. But if you are if someone's going to say, all right, in my house I cook. My husband don't cook. He doesn't cook. I cook. Right. But the washing basket is always empty. Always. Clothes is folded up. Do you know what I mean? The stairs are always hoovered. Yeah. And at the moment we've got a big bulky hoover, so I don't hoover. Do you know what I'm saying? So I will cook, but he will clean up, he will wash up. So it's not like even when I used to come out and go rave, I'd be like, no, I've got to cook and leave food at home. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's cool. People's like, rah, why are you going to do that? Because
no, that's right. Because that's your house, that's your relationship. Yeah, you want to do that. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. They've got to eat. And
how often do you cook, Nick?
For me to go out and I'm hearing, babe, I'm hungry, man. Like, because, no. Or my kids eating McDonald's or something. No. And that's it. I cook most days, Trish. Most days I cook. Yeah, most days I cook. Because I don't
What do you think is the minimum amount that you could cook that's reasonable a week? Is it every day that you have to cook?
No, that's the thing. I don't have to cook.
I can cook and then tomorrow I don't want it.
Right.
Yeah.
First when I want it.
If I turn around and say I'm not cooking today, okay, you lot might have to go and look what's in the freezer, or it might be a takeaway day or something. So I don't cook every day, but I like to, Monday to Thursday.
Thursday, have a fresh food.
Yeah, I will cook. I will take out my meat from the night before, or something's in the freezer, or something, and I'll prepare for every day up to Thursday. Friday, it's a whatever day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, Saturday.
So what happens on Saturday, soup day, and then Sunday dinner?
In the winter, yeah. So, sometimes or whatever. Usually, again, whatever. Just do whatever, or we might go out to eat or something. Sunday is start again, isn't it?
Okay, cool. I asked that because I'm like really busy, and my mum's a fantastic cook, so there's no real reason for me to cook. But I
yes.
You're already done.
Mummy, big up, mummy, every time. What?
It's just ridiculous. You can't lose weight in this house. But if you can't, and she feeds you like a little baby elephant, don't she, Dionne? And then a little baby elephant, and they tell you you're getting fat. Yeah, you don't fucking say. But, do you know what I mean? But it's amazing. But as she gets older, I come from a long line of great cooks, so I of course know how to cook. Problem is, I'm busy, and it's not my favorite thing to do. But I know that once I get into a relationship, any decent man's going to expect me to cook. So I'm trying to figure out what is the minimum.
But why would the cooking? I mean, you might meet a man who loves to cook.
Cook, yeah.
Well, then that might be my blessing. That might be my blessing.
I mean, but you might have to do other stuff. But if it's something that although you can do it, so you're capable, but it's not your favorite thing. Yeah.
Nah. But
why couldn't he? I mean, everybody cooks that first meal to impress, don't they? But if during the course of the relationship you make it clear, listen, this is not my favorite, I can do it, but it's not my favorite thing, why would he not do it?
I don't know. Mute yourself a minute. I guess because I really do listen to the comments and when the guys speak up in here, and when they speak up about things, one of their biggest things is food. More or less, the majority of them are like, food's important and cooking is something that they expect the woman to do. I'm not saying that no bravado men carry the weight of the opinions across the world. That's not what it is. But it's just interesting how much it comes up in conversation with guys. It's something that's important to them, food. So unmute yourself. I want to see what that was about.
No, I said because in poor communities, food is a love language, especially in immigrant communities. So if we tell Nikki that we're coming this weekend and we get there, and when we arrive, she says, "Oh, I'll just go and get some pizza," we're gonna cuss. But if when we get there, we know she's cooked us a steaming bowl of rice and whatever it is. That's Nikki saying, "I love you. This is me welcoming to your home." So food is like a love language. So I understand why it's a big thing for men, because they see it as a woman, showing that she's into them, and so I do understand it, but it's just not the only love language. I think that men need to come out of their stomach, because most of them can probably cook. So they what they're looking for in a woman is to see if, how she kind of uses the cooking as a love language. What does she cook? Because some of them will be like, "Oh, you made me just chicken wings and macaroni cheese." They thought it was going to get cow foot and white rice. They want that. There's a disparity in what you cook. So yeah, I think it's a love language.
You're on mute, Trish. Oh no,
He didn't want to unmute me. He didn't want to unmute me. So, Donna, you say that there's disparity in cooking. That I like chicken wings, but some people think that that's not like a gourmet meal. What's the disparities? What's the lesser meals and what's the? the gourmet meals as such then?
So all of our food traditionally is take a long time cooking food. Yeah. I think for some people they don't. So when I used to do cooking lessons for black women, they would tell me that their partners would say, "I'm tired of this roast chicken with barbecue sauce on it," that they would tell them is barbecue chicken. And actually they wanted oxtail or brown stewed chicken, things that take a little more effort, a little more planning, a little more organizing. This is what and that's why they were sent to me to learn to cook those things. Curry goat, all of those things, roti, flatbreads. Do you know how many black women can't bake? I do, a lot. So, I understand why for men it's a big thing. Equally, I think men have to understand that not all women are at that level. So if you've left your mum and your mum's a Saturday soup pot extraordinaire and Sundays tree meats and rice and peas and potato and all them something there, Hillary from Hillingdon might just be on the little roast chicken, 1-2 white rice and some string beans. And the fact that she's covered the chicken in barbecue sauce, she thinks she's out there. That's what I mean in terms of the disparity in cooking. Some people can really throw down a pot, and some people are just make, get you, make.
Oh, Jesus. I think cooking is just practice now.
Sorry, Nix, go on.
Cooking is just practice, though, I think. It's all practice. When I was young, I didn't think, I was like, I hated it. My mum would always try and drag me in the kitchen. She'd always, and I just hated it. Then I got with my girl's dad, and then we used to do things together and all that. And just over time, and now I'm with, I've been with Omar for ages, and he doesn't cook, and I do a lot of the cooking. So it is literally just practice, I mean? And, thank God he loves it. He loves the food. The kids love the food. They love it. There's nothing I don't do that they don't like. But it is just all practice. And now I tell you, my mum's not here. My grand's not here. There's certain things, nothing raw. I never really knew what my grand done with that patty pastry. All of that she used to come roll out the thing. I'd be like, no, Granny. Like, I didn't want to know 20 years ago. Do you know what I'm saying? Now I'm going to the man down the road to buy patty because I don't know what was used in the patty my granny was doing.
Oh, I'm gonna make my mum write her recipes down for
do it, man. Or even just let her talk into the thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the time you can't even write it down because it's a little bit of that and a little touch. Do you know what I'm saying? So
or film it or something.
Yeah, while she's cooking it. Yeah.
When she came out of hospital and I was cooking for her, she was like, "Oh, this is amazing." I was like, "Of course it is," because I come from a long lineage. But when the elders sign off your food, it's a different type of salute. You know what I mean? Her and the old lady up the road, my aunt up the road, I'll cook for them and they love it. So I can definitely cook. It's just I'm busy and it's not my favorite thing to do. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I think gone are the days where, as a woman, it was I think we understand now that men can be better cooks than women, and some women are not great cooks, or they're not. Cooking is not their thing. Like I can't stitch. Like if you saw my sewing, it's what my mum would call bitch sewing. So it's not given because I'm a girl. That so the role appropriation is called? Role appropriation is out the window, I think, to a certain extent. Yeah, I mean, exactly. And if he really wants you to cook for him, Trish, what's he prepared to do to get it on? Like that.
Well, they would have to be a nice trade-off. All right, let's finish up with these comments and then we're coming to the end of the show. I've had you girls time for a long enough. But yeah, she was saying that the mum that some of them are lazy. The matriarch leads as they are old, have knowledge. They have mother acceptance of men who do not act as a leader, and this allowed children to see mother doing it all. Mother and matriarch needs to teach children that doing it all is not the right way. That's more or less what Donna was just saying. But circumstances forces the situation. A woman supports the family, not the man's behavior. She holds the family together. A woman can raise a strong family, teaching the children to take responsibility. I think it might be a bit strong to generalize, says Claude Thornton, who's with us tonight. Hey, girl. But what I will say is that I see many men who had a distinct mindset of self-pleasing, taking, using, and fun having to the extent that life has passed them by, and they had nothing to show for it apart from children, heartache, and the clothes on their back. I also see many trying desperately to catch up with their delayed maturity, and it's amazing how they pretend to have morals and standards now when their history spells narcissistic, self-absorbed traits rather than blatantly. Yeah. And then someone said, I couldn't have put it any better. And yeah, well said, Claude. Some people are saying that they agree that men just want passive providers. They want you to take care of the household and take care of them. And it's, people are saying they agree. Men are saying they agree with it. Yes, true of some men. Not everyone, but some looking for wives to be their mum. Someone said this. Women moaning and generalizing about men. Well, I never. In other news, dog barks and quack and ducks quack. And K-Tel said this generation of men are submissive. Well, they do seem to want women to be submissive without providing themselves. And the guy saying that he thinks that men do want women to be submissive. Tara Hunt said, not all of the men, just the bottom feeders. And that was it. So that's our show for today, ladies. Take yourself off of mute.
I was just thinking, obviously we're all out there in social media land, and sometimes I feel sorry for men because I think it's just suddenly dawned on men and a lot of women that this is the first time men are actually having to try. Before, it was a given. You would get a wife, you would have that woman would be able to have children, you would have a family, and so your name would live on without you having to try. It was just a given. And now that women have are more responsible for their autonomy and what they want and what they don't want, I think it must be a difficult place for men who have just been used to existing, not trying, not working on themselves, not being, articulate, not having, it's all been, all the pressure on the procreation of humanity has been on the woman. And that blasted book, the Bible, hasn't helped because men have never had to try to be anything else but, I've got a penis and I can cut wood and all of that. And this new day that is dawning where women are requiring a little more than sawers of wood and hewers of water in their men, I really do, I don't feel for them, but it must be a different time. I mean, some of them are obviously like, I can do this and they're able to transition to be what women want. But for those who are still clunking along in their Neanderthal suits, this must be a terrible time when you realize that actually you have nothing about you that makes you interesting. I mean, there's no woman sphere, is there? But there's this massive expansion of a manosphere. Why? Because they've suddenly realized that actually you're redundant. All you ever had was a penis. And now, which didn't require much brain. And now that women are saying, well, actually, I want to have a conversation. I want to be intellectually stimulated. I mean, you've still got, Desiree's in night moves, but I'm saying for most women who are now seeking a higher level of interaction and engagement, these men, I feel for them, man. They must be sitting there saying, but I just want rice and peas on Sunday. But they don't. Everybody's woke. And she told me no. And she asked me, what is a clitoris? You're going to ask me that. You know what I mean? It's a whole new day for them. So big shout out to all the little woolly mammoth man them who used to play sound, tubbies, Saxon and all of that. That's their only point of reference for history. Yeah, man, me and Black and used to work. All of them, man, there, you're obsolete. You're waiting room fodder, but we salute you still, and we wish you well. We wish you well. We wish you well.
Oh God. I knew what I was getting myself into when I asked you to come and talk on these things that often me fault. Oh, I love you for it though. Have you got anything coming up, Don? Anything that we need to tell the people about?
Well, no, I'm going to be going live tomorrow because I've got a few things. I mean, we've discussed a good portion of it here this evening, and thanks again for the invitation to have that conversation. But I will be going a little bit deeper into the selective outrage that we've and almost where our
What time are you doing it?
I'm probably going to do about 7, between 7 and 8. I'm going to go live, and also I want to talk about our selective outrage, and also so I had the chance to deliver a stop and search kind of conversation with 120 police officers. And just before I go, Trisha, 120 police officers, all frontline response teams, who thought that the Black community, so the elders, the parents, didn't endorse discipline and thought that we advocated for things like spitting and biting when it comes to our young people. And the comment was made that it is an anomaly to go into a working class Black home and have a reasonable conversation with parents. Now, somebody will hear that and say, well, that's racist and that's wrong. But what that said to me is we finally reached where I've been predicting we've now reached a point where we are now considered intrinsically criminally minded, deviant, and that's a dangerous place for us as a community to be. So I'll be going live, and that's what I'll be talking about tomorrow.
All right, people. So you heard that. I'm gonna log in tomorrow. I'll be there in the comments. I'll be there. Do you got anything coming up?
Me, no, nothing. No, only holidays, which we are one of them.
Yeah, I love to see Dionne on her holidays, man. I just that's how I used to be. I need
just
to
living life, enjoying life. That's it. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm here for at the moment. Tough year so
get
far.
My mum settled, and then I'm going to be winding up my waist with you. You stay there. I'm going to be there soon too, for trust. But yeah. But no, always a pleasure. You're two women that I don't blow smoke up people's ass. You lot know that. We had this conversation the other day. There's people that love me, and there's people that do not, because I am just who I am. I'm always going to be real. But it's been such a pleasure getting to know you, Dee. You've been such a great sense of laughter and support. And no matter what happens, I'm gonna always remember you in my heart for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, thank you so much. It's
likewise.
It's nice to meet Black women that are truly for the agenda of Black women and not just for clicks and likes, but then they're trying to tear you down behind your back afterwards. It's not that. DMT, you know what time it is, my darling. You are my kindred spirit. You are the day before me. No, you're the day before me. We've got the same sort of sense of humor, opinions. I respect I just respect you from top to bottom. I think you're amazing. So, and each time you come on here, you give me joke and you talk the things. You talk the things. So, yeah, lots more to do. And not just us talking. I think there's room to look at how we can merge what we do independently to make something big. Do you know what I mean? Like, you train police officers. What is it that we can be doing that we can merge together that can help our community? And we'll think about what that is and look at it and try and roll out whatever that is. But I just wanted to say thank you to you both. Keep shining.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Nikki, it's always a pleasure to see you, Lam. I know you're broke. Now your daughter's married, God. Me see this I sit in one white t-shirt and now have enough trousers neither. Me know. But no, man, it was nice. nice. That was nice.
Donna, stop it, man. Lovely seeing you, dear. I can't wait to see you at Abu Dhabi.
I know, babes.
Oh my gosh, the piece of partying that's gonna go on. Donna, you coming, Don?
Well,
oh, she's free.
When you go, you don't go to November, do you?
You coming Abu Dhabi?
I would love to. Honestly, I would love to.
26th of October.
It's on the, you go to the 2nd
of November, isn't it? 26th to the 2nd.
We come back
The 6th
on 2nd of November. 26th of October to 2nd of November.
6 days.
Yeah, that's not long.
7.
I thought it was long. You never know. You never know. You never know. Me not talk. You never know. You never know. You never know.
Blessings. I hope you do, because that we've got. Hey, Abu Dhabi pop down, boy.
Abu Dhabi mash up. Mash up.
Everything mash up. So praying that you do come. But always a pleasure, ladies. And I'll speak to you both in a week or so. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Bye.
Take care, baby.
Take care, babe.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
How do we?
I'll remove you.
All right, we're done.
All right,
done.
gorgeous girl.
Lovely to see you. Lovely to be back.
Yes, we missed you, child. We missed you. So it's good to be back. Anything planned? Anything? What's going on? What's going on?
No, not yet. I've still got things rolling in the background, but I'll let you know as soon as I'm ready to let the world.
You know, I can't wait to start pushing it out.
I know. It's coming. It's coming.
You know, I can't wait.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So yeah. But yeah,
right,
I'm definitely getting out there. So yeah, but right now I'm looking forward to Abu Dhabi. I need to relax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
there ain't going to be much relaxing, but hey.
It's not going to be much relaxing.
One piece of partying. That's what's going to happen. But yeah. I just want to say, before we'll sign off together, I just want to say, check out Niall, Black-owned hair care company owned by the other half of No Bravado, Natalie Royer. Let's stop giving these people money to have strength to choke us. Like I said, let's just start spending our money in our community. It's time. New stockist in Brixton Village, the Mashanti Group. We are based on 5th Avenue, Unit 82. You'll find some of my Diva Choice pieces there, and some really nice clothing collection pieces that she makes. So worth a check out. Black Excellence Pop-Up Fest is happening on the 7th of October. We really need your support for these Black-owned businesses that we're showcasing, even if it is to come and buy one little facial pack or one candle or whatever it is that they're selling. Some are going to be selling jewelry. We've got some really good exhibitors. Please come down and support. All right?
Definitely.
Much love to you people.
Love, love,
and
love.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Speak soon.
Bye.